Thank you. Right, I'm going to come on screen because I'm with
that's good.
the patriarch
The
of
old
boxing. Nah, the patriarch.
Come on in, let's
An
go.
absolute pleasure to have you on the channel, everybody. Frank Warren, the patriarch of British boxing.
That means like the old duffer. Anyway, let's go.
Let's go. We're going to go back to Saudi. Talk to us about how that development, that relationship, that growth of boxing with Frank Warren, Matchroom, Turki Al Sheikh, His Excellency, how that's growing and progressing the sport itself.
I think it's great because the mutual love and the love that he has for boxing and the people like myself who are working with him. It's just been brilliant for boxing, and each show's becoming more and more of an event. And we got the biggest event this century coming up on May the 18th with the undisputed heavyweight championship with 4 belts on the line between 2 undefeated fighters. So I'm really looking forward to that. And that at the moment is just going to be something, amazing and not happened in my lifetime, despite being the old geezer or patriot, whatever I am of boxing.
But you, as a promoter, an experienced promoter, seeing how the boxing is coming together, how fights that never in a million years would be what some of us would say, fights weren't happening. Now they're starting to progress. We're even talking about the Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. That's even not seeming like a myth now. It's more becoming a reality.
Well, look, I think some of those fights would have happened, but what is happening is they're happening very faster, and more importantly, they're happening on cards that are so stacked with great fights that we would never have been able to put together because we just couldn't do it as a business model. But because it's part of the Riyadh season, it's part of their of what they're doing there, not just with boxing, but with all the different sports and entertainment, music and so forth. Putting all these things together, it's enabled us to see these brilliant cards and brilliant nights of boxing.
Us as fickle fans, sometimes, like you said, you can't spread that money. There's a lot of money. Fighters, as they progress on their career, they demand more. When you talk about maybe those fights happening in the UK and them not being able to happen, often us fans have blamed the politics, but it's not always about the politics side. Talk to the fans and let us know why those fights just don't happen, Frank.
Well, because they're financially not viable when the purses that are being asked, and most boxers want to have guarantees for pay-per-view, but if your value is what it is, then just go for pay-per-view and you cut the money up. I'm just saying, if it's unification for others, 50% each, and you divide the money on whatever the percentages that are hopefully eventually agreed. And pay-per-view is the most honest form of your worth, right? Because people are going to buy it or they're not. And if it's a big hot ticket, they'll buy it. One of the big problems though that we do have is piracy, which is causing a few problems.
I'm sure that's something that technology develops all the time that we can push over with. But one of the things I wanted to ask you as well, Frank, you've been in the business for a very long time. I've seen you and Bob Arum walking on the red carpet out in Saudi, 2 veterans in the sport. How do you remain fresh? How do you reinvent yourself all the time to, like, you're still down with the kids? You know what I mean? Like the Madonna of boxing. She's coming out in miniskirt. It's not that you're doing that, but you know what I mean.
I'm good in a miniskirt, I promise you. No, how do I? It's because I've just got a love for it. Excuse me, and I love the development. Like I'm talking to, where is it? He's Dennis's young brother. He's as big as that. He stands to me. I'm going to sign with you and that. And I'm looking at him, and I've had a few guys over the years that's happened. And suddenly I've signed them. You don't remember I had a photo done with you. And it's just, I love that part of it. I love that development, guiding the career, being involved, helping them achieve their goals and make their dreams come true. It's a great feeling.
You're quite personable with the fighters, and one of the things that you've said time and time again, it doesn't matter if you lose, it's how you lose. Talk to us about the sellability of those fighters and how they remain relevant. I mean, Joe Parker, prime example.
Joe Parker, he's got 5 on the trot. We got a Jeopardy fight on Saturday for Joe Joyce. He can't afford 3 losses on the trot. That really will be a problem if he does that. You look at Saturday, you look at AJ coming through. A lot of people wrote him off. said he's seen better days, including me. I felt that he'd passed his peak, but he's put a couple of good performances together, so it's all quite interesting.
We absolutely love it. The one that we're all chomping at the bit for, the one that I'm constantly refreshing X for is when is that 5v5 announcement, and the competitive spirit with both yourself and Eddie Hearn. I know we're in for a treat.
Well, I agree with all of that, and we're pretty close to announcing it, which will be announcing the weights, not the fighters.
Right.
Then we got to work out who the fighters are going to be. So it's going to be quite interesting. I'm really looking forward to it.
Listen, Frank Warren, an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for your time, and hopefully I'll see you Saturday night.
Certainly will. Look forward to seeing you.
Thank you.
People say I'm toxic, and honestly, I don't care.